श्रुति स्मृति पुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शंकरं लोकशंकरं शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवत् व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणं विना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः
Yes, yes, Madhim, ready.
So we will chant from verse number 9.
Okay.
जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम्
Janma karma cha me divyam
एवं यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः
evam yo veti tattvataha
त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म
tyaktva deham punarjanma
नैति मामेति सोऽर्जुन
naiti mamepi sorjuna
वीतरागभयक्रोधाः
vidaraga krodhaha
मन्मया मामुपाश्रिताः
manmaya mamupashritaha
बहवो ज्ञानतपसा
bahavo jnana tapasa
पूता मद्भावमागताः
puta madbhavamagataha
ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते
ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते
तांस्तथैव भजाम्यहम्
तां तथैव भजाम्यहम्
मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते
मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते
मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः
मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः
काङ्क्षन्तः कर्मणां कृत्सिद्धिम्
काङ्क्षन्तः कर्मणां सिद्धिं
यजन्त इह देवताः
यजन्त इह देवताः
क्षिप्रं हि मानुषे लोके
क्षिप्रं हि मानुषे लोके
सिद्धिर्भवति कर्मजा
सिद्धिर्भवति कर्मजा
So we were in this shloka number 12. And earlier in verse number 9, Bhagavan Sri Krishna said, one who knows me as I am, one who knows the reality of me, that person gains moksha. So, Tyaktva Deham Punarjanma Naiti Mameti Sojana. That person gains me. So we saw that. Essentially gains moksha, knows the self, etc. And then here in number 10, he said, Jnana Tapasa Madbhava Magataha. So that who gains me and how does that person gain me is said here, Jnana Tapasa. Jnana Tapasa there, that is a Tritiya Vibhakti. So by the tapas of knowledge, by the discipline of knowledge, that person gains me. This we saw in verse number 10. And then Arjuna may have had the question that Krishna used the word Bahavaha, many people, not everybody. Sarve he doesn't say. So therefore, perhaps in response to that doubt that Arjuna may have had, Krishna is saying in number 11, Ye yatha mam prapadya. In whatever form people invoke me, I am available. Even if they don't invoke me, even if there is an atheist, etc., doesn't matter. That whatever thought that person has, that thought is sustained by me. I am available in whatever people ask for, whatever in their mind, without asking, they ask for something. And Purusharthas are always there. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, we saw. And moksha may not be there in somebody's life. Still, it does not matter. Ye yatha ma prapadyakte. In whatever form, in whatever way, whatever a person is seeking, okay, tans tathaiva bhajami aham. I bless them in that way. We saw that. And then in 12, which we were looking at, Krishna is giving a reason why people do not seek moksha, why people do not seek me, Krishna. Like that, he's giving a beautiful explanation, very logical explanation. Okay. Kankshantah karmanam Krishna. Hey, karmanam siddhim. There's another shloka where karmanam Krishna comes. That comes to my mind. Okay. Kankshantah karmanam siddhim. The word siddhi appears 2 times in this shloka. First line and the second line. Siddhi means people's wants. People have wants. And I want this, I want that. And they can be short-term wants, they can be long-term wants. It's all the same. So I want my child to study well. It's a long-term want. Because child study well means it's going year after year after year after year. It seems to be endless. So 10 years, 15 years is going on. And then medicine means is another 5 more years. And by then most people have had 3-4 children also. So this poor girl or poor boy wants to study medicine and then it keeps going on and on. So want is always there. Whether it is a want just for I'm thirsty now, I want some water, or I want my children to study, etc. All these things. To accomplish all that, yajante iha devataha. Krishna says. The people, yajante, means people worship. They invoke the devatas. And in our culture, there is no shortage of devatas. And we have very specific prayers for everything. Not just a broad spectrum antibiotic like, broad spectrum. एक ही एक ही भगवान है उसको प्रार्थना करो. Yeah, एक ही भगवान है, लेकिन you can invoke specific aspects of that Bhagavan, and then as Ganesha, as Saraswati, as Lakshmi, as Rama, we can invoke. So we've got a lot of freedom that way. So therefore, Devataha, Krishna says here, and Krishna says something here. People seem to know very well. That actions work. Nothing works like action. Nothing works like doing things, right? That is very obvious. The child learns very quickly that it has to do something in order to achieve or in order to get what it wants. And initially it learns to drink milk, and even that can be a little difficult. But once it knows that, it knows it has to make an effort to drink that milk from the bottle, and so it picks it up very much. Then eating, etc., it knows, oh, if I don't eat, I will never satisfy my hunger. It's very obvious. So somehow the child learns that. Every living being seems to learn that. And so action always works. And Krishna says here, Kshipram, seems quickly. Human beings get results quickly by action, he says. Why he says quickly? Because remember, he is giving a response to Arjuna's question. Why people, with so much that is there about moksha and things like that, why people don't come this jnana tapas? Why don't they do? Because results are quick. But this result, karma phalam, result is always in Sanskrit called karma phalam. Means result of action. Very simple to translate. Result of action. Phalam means fruit of actions. But then we don't recognize the limitations of results of actions. There are 3 or 4 characteristics of karma phalam. What is the first characteristic? First characteristic is anityam. Karma phalam is anityam. Anitya means not permanent. Means whatever you are seeking, you have to keep on seeking again and again. Because what you got seems to disappear. And protecting what you have is always a big problem. And you've got a new car, and after some time, it gets old. That's it. And anything you buy gets old, and or gets lost also sometimes. So therefore, anityam. And this is clear, but we don't have a solution to that, and we just live with that. Then, second attribute, dukkha mishritatvam. Whatever I get seems to be coming along with dukkham, sorrow. How can what I get be mixed with sorrow? I mean, that's how it seems to be. And somebody sells you an insurance policy, and then later on when the papers arrive, then you realize you got caught with all these fees and all these, some fee and this fee and that fee they put. And then they say you're going to get great returns, and the net returns are close to zero, and so you don't know what happened. So you got something, it came along with, and you can't cancel the policy also because 10 days are over. And therefore, dukkha mishritatva, whatever you get comes, it's a package deal. And then atrupti karatva, similar to dukkha mishritatva. Atrupti means it seems to satisfy you initially, but later on, that level of satisfaction does not seem to be there. Car was new, the new car everybody enjoys, but after a few months, everybody seems to have forgotten Car says, hey, I am your new car. But you know, no, the family is busy thinking about other things. They have forgotten the car completely. And so, atripti. Tripti is not there. The same tripti, satisfaction that we got from anything, it doesn't matter, even family members, friends, doesn't seem to be there. So, that is atripti karatvam. And then, of course, anyashrayatvam, fourth attribute, anyashrayatvam. Ashraya means dependence. Anyashraya means dependent on something else. Whatever I get is dependent on external factors. Dependent on external factors. This is also very clear. It's also very clear. So you buy this, we bought this water, RO water machine, and you buy that and you keep using it. And after a few days, you got to call the maintenance because some light is blinking and this thing doesn't come on. There's always a problem. And that's it. You're stuck for life now. You thought you got a great machine and great water for the first few days, and now you are dependent on this fellow constantly. And you don't know whether you're happy that you have maintenance or you're sad that you're calling the maintenance person every month. We don't know. It's all confusing. So this anyashrayatam, everything dependent on the body also like that. Anyashrayatam, dependent on the body. Body is dependent on so many things, including the doctor and whatnot. So many people are keeping us going. We have to thank the entire world for all this. So this is the characteristic of what? Karma phalam, result of any action. And that is why the mind goes for what is permanent. This is the kind of thinking that should come and say, this doesn't satisfy me. This cannot satisfy me. That also. This doesn't, and then this cannot. And so I've got to think about something else. Something more sustaining. And of course, once we come to Bhagavad Gita, the most sustaining thing, of course, is Atma. Atma is Nityam. Atma is Purnaha, etc. We've seen that. And that Purnatvam is here and now, not later. All these goodies the Shastram is giving us. But then Krishna says, Kshipram hi manushe loke. In this world, results of action is quick. Who is going to wait for all this Purnatvam and all that? Jnanam and thinking and all that. Thinking and all after college, it's all over, okay? And I am a family man. Don't ask me to think and don't ask me to... Okay, it's all for you guys. All this Bhagavad Gita is for you guys. You guys means what? So Swamiji says, the family members looks at a young sannyasi and says, young sannyasi, means sannyasi is young, and says, oh, poor thing, because something happened in his family, maybe some anger, some relationship didn't work out. And so this fellow ran away and he wore on this ochre robe. And that's how sympathize with this sannyasi. And the young sannyasi is a smart sannyasi. That fellow looks at all these family members and says, poor people, look at that, So both of them are sympathizing each other, This is how life seems to work. And so, Kshipram hi manushe loke. Kshipram, very quickly. Results seem to come very quickly. And hey, Arjuna. So, let's see. Am I audible? Yeah, okay, good. So, Yajanta iha devataha. Devataha, in our culture, Devata is a very important concept. And our idea of Bhagavan being what it is, the idea of Devata is very relevant. And when we studied Tattvabodha, we said, so when the author described, Acharya described sense organs, so Shrotrasya Digdevataha, defining the organ of hearing, that through which things are heard. And then he says, Shrotrasya Digdevata, Chakshusha Suryaha, Tvacho Vayuhu. So the presiding deity of the sense of touch is Vayuhu. Vayuhu, generally understood as this air. But that air is Devata for us, Vayu Devata. Chakshusha Suryaha, presiding deity, Devata of the eyes is Surya. Not just that Surya, that sun that is there, but the entire principle of vision, the entire principle of ophthalmology, what scientists know and what scientists are yet to discover, the entire ball of wax, or what do they call it? Whole 9 yards, something, they use these words. And whole, everything that is known and unknown, that is called Devata. Okay? We are trying to, the scientists, the ophthalmologists, the vision scientists, they are trying to discover more and more. Everything is there, but discovery happens slowly, slowly. So that Devata, peering into the mind of the Devata, and slowly come to know. So that is Devata. The entire process, all the operations, everything, Devata. So Rasanayaha, Varunaha, etc. We saw that before. And so, because results comes very quickly through actions, that is why many college students say, there is no use in studying, because look at all these musicians, they are doing great. They don't have any degrees, mom. And I am also good in playing guitar. And he's been playing guitar, he loves guitar. And so, why don't I got a bright idea. I want to start my own little group. Hey, you are hardly in the first year. You got to finish college. And the son doesn't understand that language, this finishing college. Okay. Where is the rule that somebody has to finish college? You are just coming up with your own rules, mom. If you, there are so many people who have not finished college who are successful. So why don't you allow me to play guitar? So, Kshipram hi manushe loke. So, and so quick results. So, this Swamiji gives the example of this guitar playing guy. And so, I must study for another few more years. This idea is not appealing to many people. And that is because this studying and all that, it's just, it doesn't produce anything. It doesn't seem to produce anything at all. That's why they say in our culture, my parents and all used to say, you better finish studying by the time first few years is all you can study. After that, this idea of studying will not come. It's not at all attractive, and people are busy, and family and earning a livelihood and all is there. And occasionally you see somebody, a maid, and she tells me, I did not study, but I wanted my son to study. And so she taught him, went to college and MBA. That fellow is an MBA. And sold everything, every piece of jewelry, every piece of so-called wealth at home sold just so that he can study. So occasionally you find people who value education and give up everything for the sake of education. So you do find such people. And so these people don't value what Krishna says, and prayer and all that also not there, nothing. Just do and get. Keep doing what you have to do and make the best out of it. And if at all the person has to pray, the person will pray after buying the lottery ticket. Hey Bhagavan, hey Krishna, let my number be the chosen number. So that is the time the person fervently prays, he thinks of Krishna at that time. And but otherwise, there is no Ishvara, there is no moksha, there is no knowledge, nothing. It doesn't play a role in our life. So, So here, now in the 13th shloka, he's going to talk a little. He's going to tell us about how the society and the lifestyle is defined. Okay, he's going to give a definition. Okay. Now, we see this very clearly. Actions, results. I do this, I get this. Sometimes I have to wait a long time. Sometimes I don't. Instant gratification is also there. And unfortunately, instant gratification doesn't seem to work all the time. Sometimes I have to keep waiting. I don't have a choice. Okay, so I wait. So this is the story of karma. And we see the story of knowledge also. And where you've got to know certain things, and especially when it comes to moksha, there is Krishna is talking about Mam Yo Veti, one who understands me as I am. He's talking about that. And so that karma is all finite. Many finites are there in karma. Finite action, finite result. Finite action, finite result. Finite action, temporary result. This is how it goes. Everything is temporary. Whereas Jnanam, Vedas is so gracious. It tells you you are what you're seeking. Have you thought about it? Have you ever wondered what you're seeking is really yourself? And then we have to scratch our head and say, what's this? What's all this about? So, one infinite, you've got many finites here in karma, but when it comes to knowledge, it's just one infinite, one Purnam, one Atma. Have you thought about that? Perishable, Avinashi, all this is destroyed, destructible, perishable, but here, Avinashi. Karma, all short term, this is what? Long term, permanent term, permanent. Once you get it, that's it. You got it forever. And Punarjanmana Vidyate also, he says, Krishna, making very bold statement. So these two are opposed to each other. Correct? Opposed to each other. Which two are opposed to each other? This way of accomplishing things to action. Action is very important. We are not looking down upon action. Without action, nothing gets done. That's why they have this action, Ready, action. What is it? Action. 1, 2, 3, action. This way or this way, I forget now. In movies, what they do. So I think they do like this because they make a noise also. So I think maybe that's the thing it is. So action works. Action always works. Action is important. There's no karma yoga without action. Anyway. But then they're opposed to each other. The results are opposed to each other. It is important for us to recognize that. That is why Punarjanma na Vidyate. He said in the two verses ago. Punarjanma, why this another birth has to come? Please tell me. What is this thing about another birth? One birth itself, we are kind of lost and we're trying to figure out what all this is about. And now he's talking about another birth and then another birth and another birth. This seems too much. Well, Punarjanma is for my own sake. I want to be happy, and my only way of becoming happy is through karma and karma phalam. Karma and karma phalam. Karma. And unfortunately, it doesn't end. Because it's experiential happiness doesn't end at all. And so, Punarjanma cannot be escaped. Unfortunately, we've got this idea, this moksha, which involves a recognition of the self, which is already complete. It's beautiful. It's not simply, that's why I said last class, Bhagavan in our culture is not just to be believed. Swamiji said it is to be understood. We know Bhagavan. That is the beauty of this. That is what puts an end to this journey. Otherwise, you believe something, you go somewhere, after death I'm going to go here, etc. And then I'm going to be happy ever after. This happy ever after idea comes from stories. That's all. It stops with stories. And so, these two are opposed to each other. Duramete viparite vishuchi. Like that, Lord Yama, Bhagavan Yama tells Nachiketa. How many of you do not know the story of the dialogue between Nachiketa and Yama? Do not know. Okay. Priya, Vijay, Sundari, etc. And Anjali. Okay. Few people. So, there is a famous story of this boy, the son of a king, who is hardly 9 years or 10 years old. And I'll tell you very briefly. And and so the father is a king of this, he's an emperor in fact. And then those days, the kings also used to give up whatever they have. There is a time when they just give up everything. Why? So that in the next Janma, I will become a bigger king. Like that. Or I'm done with it and I'm going to give it up and I'm going to walk away from all of this. But this Vajasravas started giving everything out, and everything was given. The entire palace is empty, and some animals were there, animals given up, and this cows are given up, and some finally the last few cows which are sick or old are being given. And now the son says, Nachiketa looks at this and says, Nachiketa is committed to dharma. He knows a lot about dharma. And he looks at this and he's shocked. He tells Dad, you can't do this. A healthy cow, a farmer can use. Okay, a household can use a healthy cow and make some money out of it. But a sick cow, the cow can't even walk properly. You can't give this to somebody. Give me instead. Give me instead. I can be of help to the family, he says. And the father is not responding. Father didn't respond. Second time, Dvitiyam Tritiyam Upanishad says, Dvitiyam Tritiyam, third time the son tells the same thing. Father is furious because the son, this boy is interfering in my affairs as though he knows what is to be done. And then the Mrityave Tvam Dadami. That is what the Upanishad says. I give you to Mrityu. Mrityu means death. Mrityave Tvam Dadami. Twadada. And then the scene is now slowly shifting. I give you to death means what? Go to hell. Is Ityartha. We have to now translate it to our language, right? Go to hell. Get out of here. Okay? Ni tolenjipo. Whatever. In a burst of fit of anger, we say all kinds of things. That is what happened. And so now the son is not upset. The son's question in the son's mind is, how can I be of help to Lord Yama? This is what the son is thinking. He's not saying, I'm going to hell, I'm going to heaven, oh, I'm going to die. That's not the thought. The son is thinking, how can I be of help? Because father has told this, and a spoken word is a spoken word, that's it. There is nothing to undo that. And so he says that. And the scene shifts, and then now the scene shifts to Yamaloka, the world of Yama. Anyway, so there, the Nachiketa, the boy goes, and the story is, he is waiting for 3 days, 3 full Yama days, whatever day, however long the day is in the world of Yama. 3 days he waits. And the Yama comes back home. And Yama also is traveling. It's not that we travel, flying here and there and etc. Yama also travels a lot. He has a lot of work to do, And so he's a busy man. And we can understand that. And so Yama comes back and he says, He is shocked to find a Brahmana waiting. Brahmana here means a person who is committed to truth and committed to thinking, committed uh, to the Vedas, and that's kind of a person, a clear-headed person. That person is called a Brahmana by nature. Okay, we're going to talk about it later. And that boy is here. And so now to make a person wait like this is considered a papa karma in our culture. Therefore, Yama he knows all this. He approaches the boy and he doesn't say sorry. He says, Swasti me astu, may good come to me. Bless me, please. Please ask me 3 boons for the 3 days that you've been waiting. Okay, he protects himself first by saying, bless me. Because when a Brahmana curses somebody, and then that curse will come true. And so he starts like that, and the dialogue goes. And 3 boons are asked. First boon is for the father. And the boy says, my father is going to be upset. And therefore, when I go back, make sure my father has a pleasant disposition to me. Look at that. One boon, he asked 2-3 things. He said, when I go back. That means what? He doesn't say, send me back. First boon is send me back. Second boon is, no. When I go back, my father should recognize me and he should be happy and we should live happily. This is the first boon. So he combines 2 or 3 things in the same thing. Okay. It is that like that lady. That lady who is 80 years old and she pleased Bhagavan. Bhagavan came and she had no children. She was very sad, no children, etc. And I'm 80 years old. I'm going to pass away. Then Bhagavan came. What do you want, lady? And she says, I will give you 1 boon. Okay, 1 boon. Just one. Ask me for one thing. I want to see my grandchildren drinking milk from golden cups. What is the meaning of this? I want to see my grandchildren. She's 80 years old already. Okay. So I want to see my grandchildren means what? She's unmarried. That means what? Make me young and then okay, so that I can marry, I can have children, I can have grandchildren. That's just one word, grandchildren. I want to see my grandchildren drink milk. Means everything is available out of golden cups. That means what? Who drinks milk from golden cups? So that means the wealth, there is a countless money also there. And so that smart lady. So like that, Nachiketa also is smart, not ordinary. And first boon, father. He asked this boon. Okay. Second boon is for, family taken care of. Second boon is for society. And actually, first boon is for his father. He talked about his father and my father should not be upset. And he must be very sad. He must be frustrated. He must be shocked and take care of him. That's his first boon. Second boon is for society. People want this, they hear about this heaven, Swarga, and tell me that ritual which will take people to Swarga. So the ritual is said and the story goes, and the Nachiketa repeated word for word that ritual, and Yama was happy and then gave another boon that this ritual will be named after you. It's called Nachiketa Agni. I will name it after you, he says. Then third boon he says, Yeyam Preta Vichikitsa Manushya. People have a doubt about afterlife. What happens after death? Many people have a doubt. And whether this life exists after death or not. There is Atma that survives or not. Where does this Atma go? I want to know about that. That Atma you please teach. Okay. And Yama says, then the story, there's a whole series of mantras where the Yama is just saying, boy, this is not the age where you ask these kinds of questions. And don't worry, I'll keep you happy. I'll give you whatever wealth you want. And one after the other, he gives this. I'll give you this kingdom. I'll give you long life. I'll give you from heavens, all people will come to entertain you, this and that. It goes on and on. And Nachiketa is patiently listening to all this. Couple of times he said, no, I'm not interested. And finally, Nachiketa says, look, all these things are temporary. They're all anityam. Even if you give me a long life, you can't give me even Brahma's life, which is billions of years. Brahma himself is worried about his life. What about me, a mere mortal? And you are giving me so long life and all that. No, I'm not interested in all that. Tell me about Atma. So finally, Yama agrees. Yama agrees that this boy is not ordinary. And he says, so he says things like Shreyascha Prayascha Manushya. Hey, Nachiketa, yes, I'm very happy. I'm happy to teach you now. There are two kinds of lifestyles. One is called Shreyas, another is called Prayas. Correct? Shreyas and Prayas. I'm saying all these things because some of you said you did not know the story. And the story is beautiful and it's something that we often tell our children. And anyway, Shreyas and Prayas. Okay, two words. So our children are all named Shreyas. No child is named Prayas. And we should not get too smart and say, oh, I want something new, And all these names are all too old-fashioned. And Shreyas is a nice name, but Shreyas is also, our friends have called their son Shreyas. So we should call him Prayas. Please don't do that. And don't give this kind of advice. Stick with this. And we don't know the Shastram, we don't know Sanskrit, nothing. So we have to be a bit careful with these names. So Prayas, Shreyas. Prayas means a life of this karma. I am going to use the other way. Because earlier I said here karma is on this side, jnanam is on this side. So we'll stick with that. Prayas, a life of karma and karma phalam, karma and karma phalam, karma phalam is called prayas. Correct? Shreyas. Shreyas means what? A life which is led with a spiritual intent with the idea of recognizing this identity between Ishvara and Jiva. And that life is called Shreyas. That lifestyle is called Shreyas, and that moksha is also called Shreyas. Correct? Shreyascha prayascha manushyametaha tau samparitya vivinakti dhiraha. Like that, Yama explains to Nachiketa. And he says, Shreyo hi dhiro vipreyo vivrinite. So many people, they give up this Shreyas and go towards Prayas. And there are a few people who think through and then let go of Prayas and take to Shreyas. Like that, Yama talks about. And then he also says, Duramete viparite vishuchi. Duramete. These two, Shreyas and Prayas, are diametrically opposite. Duram, ete, viparite, vishuchi. Viparite, opposites. Duram, far apart. They are worlds apart. They are nowhere near. Vishuchi, separate. Why? Well, it's now obvious to us why. Because if I'm stuck in this mode, then this jnanam and moksha doesn't even play a role in my life. And moksha implies letting go of things. Karma implies I am insecure and I want to become secure. And I will become secure when I get this and get that. This is how my idea is. This is how we lead our life. And that is unending. That is unending. Whereas this one is, hey, perhaps I'm already secure. I don't know that I'm already secure. That possibility, entertaining that possibility is so important. So these two are separate. These two tracks are different tracks. These tracks don't meet at all. Correct? So, Duram ete viparite vishuchi, like that. In Kathopanishad, there is a mantra, and then Yama acknowledges. He says, Vidya bhipsinam nachiketasam manye. You, Nachiketa, I consider you to be somebody who wants moksha. And so, why? And because all these goodies I gave you, and these goodies people won't get just like that. Martyaloke, they don't get. In the world where in earth people don't get this kind of stuff, and you did not get attracted by these things. Therefore, you are qualified for this knowledge. He says. Very beautiful. And so, just to the point I wanted to make about how these two are separate, very different, and to invoke that Kathopanishad, I wanted to make sure all of you knew it. And so, two things are different. But then, this is how life is. And we are like that. Why do you blame me for doing what I'm supposed to do? And then I lead a very good life, and I dot the I's and cross the T's, and I am a very dharmic person. And now you are telling me you are doing karma palam, and then there is no end to it. I mean, this is, you put me in this bucket, and then you are blaming me that I am in this bucket. That's not fair. So therefore, it is a responsibility of the Shastra to say, okay, explain these two, but then how do I go from here to here? How do I go from here to here? Correct? The child is child. The child is going to ask for balloons. We saw the other day. And you don't deny the child of balloons. It's so attractive, it's so beautiful. I mean, how can you resist the temptation of having a balloon? That's how it is. And so give what the child wants. The child is not well, and medicine is to be given. So mix some sugar and give the medicine. Because the child does otherwise will not consume, will spit the medicine out. And this is the mother's greatest worry, is the baby is not going to take the medicine, right? Already the baby is not well, running a fever 100 plus, and the child is vomiting, and the child is doing this and that. So sugar coating, got to do some sugar coating, and so like this we do. We allow the child to be a child, but at the same time the child grows and grows. We allow the child to grow and slowly grow out of the things that the child was dependent on. Correct? Same thing. Shastram does the same thing to us. The entire Vedas has this, it's called Karma Kanda. It helps me get more and more of what I know. Wealth, prosperity, children, this is all I want. And more security. The Vedas gives me all that. More and more mantras, more and more homas, more and more yagas. You do with Shraddha, you will get that. So whatever I want, dharma, artha and kama, it gives me. And it also says, by the way, it slowly takes you. Follow dharma, and once you follow dharma, your mind will mature. Then slowly you recognize moksha, and then karma yoga will be there. So I continue to recognize moksha and see Ishvara everywhere. And Ishvara plays a bigger role in my life. And then knowledge is not far away. So the Vedas helps me go from here to there. And for that, there must be a plan. A framework must be there. And that framework is called Ashrama Dharma and Varna Dharma. That framework, which takes me from here to here, is called Ashrama Dharma and Varna Dharma, called Varnashrama Dharma. Together, Varnashrama Dharma. Ashrama is for the individual, and Varna is for the society. Ashrama is for the individual, Varna is for the society. And this we will discuss in the next class. And this Krishna is going to talk about in Shloka number 30. So a methodology, a framework to accomplish what the Shastra says we must accomplish, and is called Varna Ashrama Dharma, a framework to lead our life. So we will discuss more, a lot more to discuss on that. And so let's do this. Let's translate the Shloka number 12. Kangshantaha, Sanskrit students, Shatru Pratyaya, Kangshantau, Kangshantaha, Pullingam, Bahuvachanam, Prathama Vibhakti. So desiring the results of actions, Karmanam Siddhim Kangshantah, desiring the results of actions. Here in this world means now. I want everything now, as soon as possible, ASAP. That is called iha. Within brackets, in this world. Here within brackets, in this world. Now, not after I die. Okay. Here in this world, comma, desiring the results of actions here in this world, they worship deities, devataha. They worship devataha. They worship within brackets different devataha. Devatas. Devataha yajante. Yajante. The word de is missing in this line, but it's supplied. We can supply it. They worship. People worship devataha. Because or for, comma, in this human world, Manushye Loke, in this human world, result born of action comes very quickly. Karmaja siddhihi kshipram bhavati. Karmaja, born of action, siddhi, result, bhavati, kshipram, comes quickly. Okay? Result born of action comes very quickly. Desiring the results of actions here, within parenthesis, in this world, comma, they, those people, worship different devatas, different deities, full stop. For means that is because, comma, in the human world means in on earth's this world that we are aware of, we don't really know any other world. In the world, in this humanity, comma, result born of actions come very quickly. Kshipra. Very interesting. So next shloka we will see in the next class, where that framework is being introduced by Sri Krishna. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.